Yeah, probably not. I mean, the far right, I don't think Kamala Harris or any Democrat was ever going to win over. But there are plenty of men who may need permission.
What do you mean a Tim Pool viewer?
Well, I mean, you have an audience, and the audience is far right, and over
somebody who thinks
90% male.
So you're saying that you think my audience that agrees with me that there's inherent sexism in this country and racism, and that creates a barrier for Kamala Harris. Those are the viewers you're talking about?
No, I'm saying that the folks who listen to your show are not, they are not the target audience of these ads. There are plenty of men out there who may not have really understood when they kept asking things like, where is Kamala Harris's plan, even though she's said it over and over and over again on the campaign trail. They're using excuses and not understanding that the underlying issue there might be misogyny.
Hang on. Kamala Harris, with the best will in the world, she doesn't have a big plan for what she's going to do. She never thought she'd have to have one. She gets parachuted in this weird coronation, a completely undemocratic process, by the way, which I don't think served her or the Democrats very well, and I suspect will come back and haunt them at the election.
Tim Pool from Timcast and Vinny from the PBD podcast went on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and things got very, very heated, especially in the parts with Tim Pool. Let's get into this clip here where Tim Pool absolutely destroys these woke idiots live on Piers Morgan. And also Vinny chimes in here and there too, but mainly the heated parts is Tim Pool versus these idiot woke leftists. Let's get into this clip here from Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Latino American men. So Tim Pool,
can I just challenge that for a second?
You can challenge it.
Men don't turn out at the same rates as women. It's really important. Women have a higher rate of turnout, they're more reliable voters, and young women are more left than they've ever been because of a lot of the online hate that they're seeing. So while Tim Pool might not like this, the majority of men actually do respect women and do like to talk to them. And I think, is there misogyny? Sure.
Why would Tim Pool not like people to respect women? What's he said that makes you think that?
What did I say to this lady?
I watched his commentary in response to the Kamala. This lady, I have a name, Tim. I've called you your name. You can call me my name. My name's Nomiki Konst. I'm well known. I'm on the internet. You've commented about me before as this lady. So, Tim, I saw your commentary about the manliness ad, and you said that wasn't manly. I don't think that men should be looking to other men to see what's manly. I mean, most heterosexual men want to persuade women because it's part of their, it's how they live, right? Tim Pool, I'm just questioning why you're defining masculinity.
All right, let
women
Tim Pool.
aren't,
Okay,
we're the ones.
Well, it's interesting that you think you should be able to define masculinity, but he can't. Tim Pool, your response?
I don't know why this lady keeps saying my name. I didn't say anything to her. I think I started this off by saying I agree with the left position that there is an inherent sexism problem in this country. That actually, I'm hearing this from some of the reporters that we have on the street, that there are young men, when asked why they wouldn't support Kamala Harris, they give no reason other than she's just a woman. So I certainly understand why the Harris campaign, Tim Walz and Harris, and their supporters are making videos trying to tell men, here's how you can be masculine. So in particular, there's a couple ads. There's the white dude for Harris ad, and then there was another one that was put out, I believe it was by supporters, not the campaign officially, and a Tim Walz ad that were similar. And they're doing these things where they say, like, I can fix a carburetor and I'm not scared of women. These things don't say anything to men. Now, we believe, I should say the commentary we had on this is that they were female-coded advertisements likely written by women for men. I think if you look at the trends that guys follow in terms of media, they're looking at action movies. It's rather stereotypical, but there is a lowest common denominator here. So I don't think you are convincing men to vote for women by making commercials where you say, here's how men should act. I don't think you need those arguments for men. I think
that's actually very true. And also, whenever women like this lady here, she said her name was like Nomi Kika or something like that. I don't know what the hell her name is. So yeah, it's reasonable for Tim Pool to not remember either. But the reason why, like, this lady's not helping the case for women is basically what I'm trying to say. It sounds harsh, but like, whenever you're mad about men not respecting women enough to be able to vote for Kamala Harris, and then you go on Piers Morgan and you talk to Tim Pool the way you talk to him and don't talk to him like a human, it's like, you're not helping the case here, lady. But also what Tim Pool is talking about is, like, men are fed up, and this is me adding my own two cents in here. He's saying it a little bit differently. Men are fed up, especially me and people like you probably watching this. Men are fed up with these commercials like Tim Pool is talking about, where we're men and we're voting for Kamala Harris and we're not scared of women and we know how to fix a carburetor or whatever. It's always like, if you don't put up with the nonsense that is like, we should put women above men and women are superior. If you don't accept that and promote that yourself, then you're told that you're not a real man and stuff like that. And that's what men are just fed up with nowadays. It's like, oh, you're not a real man unless you vote for Kamala Harris. Or if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you just can't handle a strong woman. It's like, nah, Kamala Harris is just an idiot and obnoxious. And normally these women who are labeled quote unquote strong women are also idiots and obnoxious. And we just don't want to deal with them. And they're just annoying. And then I just want them out of my face. But if you say that, then you're like, oh, you just can't handle a strong woman. It's like, no, I just don't want to deal with these ridiculously obnoxious women that you label as strong women that I label as obnoxious. That's the difference.
If there's a struggle with men, I wonder if the issue is not that it's a point of convincing these men, but that you actually just have guys who are sexist. And how you overcome that's a challenge I don't quite know. But I think when we criticize and mock, say, a cringe commercial, it's because it's certainly not the way to do it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, it depends on who you're trying to target. I mean, if you're trying to target Tim Pool viewers, yeah, probably not. I mean, the far right, I don't think Kamala Harris or any Democrat was ever going to win over. But there are plenty of men who may need permission.
What do you mean a Tim Pool viewer?
Well, I mean, you have an audience, and the audience is far right, and over
somebody who thinks
90% male.
So you're saying that you think my audience that agrees with me that there's inherent sexism in this country and racism, and that creates a barrier for Kamala Harris. Those are the viewers you're talking about?
No, I'm saying that the folks who listen to your show are not the target audience of these ads. There are plenty of men out there who may not have really understood when they kept asking things like, where is Kamala Harris's plan, even though she's said it over and over and over again on the campaign trail. They're using excuses and not understanding that the underlying issue there might be misogyny.
Hang on. Kamala Harris was the best one in the world. She doesn't have a big plan for what she's going to do. She never thought she'd have to have one. She gets parachuted in this weird coronation, a completely undemocratic process, by the way, which I don't think served her or the Democrats very well, and I suspect will come back and haunt them at the election.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
But the truth is that Kamala Harris doesn't seem to have a proper plan. Her plan is to hammer Trump, and that's fine. But I don't think that, unlike in 2020, when Biden hid in the basement and did that quite successfully, I don't think just being anti-Trump is enough. Americans are looking for a much bigger picture. Now, I want to bring in Vajra here because hang on. I'll come back to you. I want to bring in Vajra about this extraordinary Obama intervention, and I'll play the clip where he was talking directly to black men in America.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it.
That seemed quite patronizing to me, Vajra, but I'll play another.
Well, that is the tactic, right? Like, this is not something new. That is the tactic that I was describing earlier, where it's like, you know, men always complain about this with the dating stuff. It's like when a woman acts all loud and masculine and obnoxious, and then you say, oh, I don't like that. That's not really my thing. They're like, oh, you just can't handle a strong, powerful boss queen. That's it. It's like, I guess so. Like, but please get out of my face regardless. Like, I don't want you around me. And then also when it comes to Hollywood and TV, it's like they put these obnoxious, like septum pierced, short blue hair feminists in the lead roles for these movies. And they suck at acting on top of all of that. And the movie sucks. And then whenever the movie sucks, the Rotten Tomato score is down and they don't make any revenue or they don't make any profit from the movie. Then they just blame the whole thing on the fact that there's a female lead and that the audience is sexist. And that's their tactic because they don't actually have to make anything good anymore. And that's the same thing that Obama's using. That's the same thing that Kamala Harris is using. She doesn't have to have a plan because if you don't like Kamala Harris, then you're just sexist and you hate women. And also the people who do like Kamala Harris, people who are voting for Kamala, the people who are Democrat voters, they don't actually care about having a plan or having policies. They just care that Kamala Harris is not Donald Trump. She's not the big bad boogeyman. So they're going to vote for her anyway. And if you're not going to vote for her, then you're sexist and racist and misogynistic and all these things. And it's just so sad that that's what the world has come to. There's no substance anymore. It's all just like women are better than men And if you don't believe so, you're sexist. That's just what the world has come to now.
The clip, which is a response from Lord Jamar, the rapper and record producer, to what he heard from Obama there.
Well, I feel that she's so bad that guess what? I might just go around and vote for Trump. And this is my first time saying this out loud. But y'all think you're going to shame somebody or bully into voting for this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And now you're going to make me be Mr. Anti. You keep coming at me with this bullshit. You keep coming at me talking about, oh, it's a shame that you're not supporting a black woman. She's not black.
Vaja,
Wow.
I watched that, and I was interested because I think if I was a black American, and I'm neither, but if I was, I would have thought that Obama intervention was quite patronizing.
Yeah, so you're not a black man, and you're going to be probably, if you were a black man, you might be one of the 12% that vote Republican. Historically, 88% vote Democrat, and it seems like this time around, 88% are going to vote Democrat. The same thing happened in 2012. There was a discussion within black America that some people said, hey, Obama, don't talk down to black men like this, because black men will actually support Kamala, and don't be swayed by the 12% or the 15% or Lord Jamal, who, by the way, has never voted before. It seems like this is a manufactured controversy, but guess what? I'm glad the one thing we all agree on in this panel, I'm being sincere about here, is we all agree that misogyny and racism exists in America, and we all agree that it plays a part. And we agree, and we should agree, that there's a double standard that Kamala Harris, as the first black Indian woman, has to basically overcome. She has to pole vault over this. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has no plans. He's selling black people shoes. Yesterday, Kamala Harris said, here's my plan for black men. He actually comes up with a comprehensive plan that will actually help young black men. And by the way, that is going to resonate. What does Donald Trump do? Sways to music for 39 minutes, talks about Hannibal Lecter, talks about black jobs, says Kamala Harris has...
It's actually so hilarious that this guy can introduce Kamala Harris and say, Kamala Harris, this black Indian woman who obviously has all these obstacles to overcome. You idiot. She is only vice president because she is a black Indian woman. I don't see any white people, any white males who are only in their position in the modern day. Yes, this probably happened in the past, of course. In the modern day, no white men become president because they're white men. In fact, it's quite literally the opposite. People don't get lead roles in Hollywood and TV anymore because they are straight white men. You have to have something. You have to be gay. You got to be black. You got to be disabled. You got to have something. If you're just a normal ass white dude, you're not going to get anything handed to you ever. And you're probably going to get shunned from Hollywood and TV and everything. You know, it's the same thing goes for politics, especially on the Democrat side. Kamala Harris is only in the position that she's in because she's a black Indian woman and all the other accolades that she has as far as identity politics. That's the only accolades that she has. But if you're a white dude, you got no chance. So it actually makes it more impressive that Donald Trump is in the position that he's in because he's a white guy. Because white guys are demonized now. So that's an absolutely ridiculous statement. Let me know in the comments, though, what you think about Tim Pool's appearance here on Piers Morgan Uncensored. I'll probably cover the Vinny parts in a separate video. Let me know in the comments, though, what you think about Tim Pool versus this woke idiot here on Piers Morgan Uncensored.